Hello and welcome to FX Addicts Weekly Currency Update. This is Tim, the Currency Professor, and today is August 10th, 2012. Well, we had a week that was kind of mundane, at least for the currencies lately. We've seen a lot of volatility lately, and this week seems to be fairly subdued. The dollar gaining just slightly on the week. We're just up slightly for the week. So in pattern-wise, we've pulled back now. So technically, we should start to run for a new high. And if we look here at the monthlies, we can see that this month is shaping up to be really nothing at this point. But of course, we still have really two good trading weeks left. And technically, we've run up, we fell back, we've run up, we fell back now. So there is a very good possibility that we could make a new run here. We need to really get above these highs to really thrust us forward in another larger move. That is above about 84.50. So if we can close significantly above that 84.50, that would be very positive on a technical basis for the dollar index. Now, if we look at the individual currencies here, the euro against the dollar, another down day today, down about 11 pips, down the last 3 days now, up the first 2 days of the week, creating a little bit of a couple of dojis there, so we're selling off, technically correct. We could now base out here for today and then move higher the first couple of days of next week. Now, that could push us up to test these highs that we made at the beginning of this week. I would think that's about all we'll get out of it, which next week will put us up around the 124.50 area, which is very close to these highs that we had at the beginning of the week. Now we look at the weekly basis. Well, this week decisively down, really an engulfing pattern on last week. So next week we come out of the gate, we move a little higher at the beginning of the week and then sell off. It'll probably start a new downward move here. One to eventually take out these lows. And on a monthly basis, well, we're kind of flat for the month right now, but technically we'll probably end up down around the bottom of this trend line for the month. So in about 2 weeks, get down to about the 119 area. British pound today, British pound gaining a little bit, about 30-35 pips here, depending on your quote service. Technically, we're starting to form this little bridge up here, which is kind of setting itself up for a fall. We came down here, we couldn't quite pierce this kind of curved up bottom that we have going. We have a nice, if you want to call it a quadruple top or double top, whatever it is, it's a technical mess. And what should happen now is as we move up, we should eventually here run out of upward momentum and then fall off, take out these lows, and get back to these lows, which if we look at the weeklies, then we can see that that would put us well below this this minor trend line where we've been bouncing off of for the last couple of months. So if we close decisively below that on a weekly basis, then that'll take us lower. And on a monthly basis, also in 2 weeks, if we can close decisively below that trend line, and then we would indeed go lower. It looks like probably around the mid-130s to even probably in the mid-120s. There's a very, very good possibility of that. And that's still stemming from this this sell-off here. So very, very likely we could have that. Swiss franc against the dollar here, giving back most of the gains it had today. So we're setting up a little bit of a point here where it's possible we could sell off the first couple of days of next week and then rally back towards the end of the week. If we look on a weekly basis, we can see here how the last 2 weeks were down, and now this week we're up, and up fairly decently, not a lot, but decently. So we could start to turn around here. Next week, if we could have an explosive week towards the end of the week up, that would be very good. Monthly-wise, well, monthly we're at a dead heat where we started. Technically, though, we could have an explosive month and get up around this 101, 101.50 area. That would be very, very positive for the long term. U.S. dollar against the Japanese yen, selling off a little bit today, down about 33 pips. And for the week, we've had a really a mixed bag, pretty much about where we started the week right now. And we got up close to this trend line and then fell back. So it looks like if we breach this 78 area and we close down below that, we'll probably get down to 76, 76.25 fairly quickly. That being said, more than likely the Bank of Japan will step in there. They have in the past, especially if it drops very quickly. They have come in the past at that level many times now and bumped us up. So that could be the deciding factor here. If it sells off quickly, it'll come right back. And we can see that a little clearer here on the weeklies. We're very close here to that support level on the weeklies. So if we do fall out of here, it's going to be quick. We'll get down, and just as quickly as we go down, we'll probably come right back. And on the monthlies here too, we can see how we broke out above this. We've consolidated for the last 3 months, and now this month, if we sell off and come right back, that would be a positive sign longer term. So have to see what happens here in the next couple of weeks, but we need to break this consolidation. Euro Swiss still in the 120.10 area. We did have a spike up on Tuesday that looked to be a false trade. So it did come through though on several quote services. Either was a very large order or a bad tick. So either event though, it did get up to almost 120.18 on solid trading, but other than that, not much action there. Excuse me, euro against the yen. Down the last 3 days, we kind of tapped out here at the beginning of the week and have since fallen back. Now we've had 1, 2, and we should have one more push up here, at least to these highs, if not a little higher, and then a sell-off. Now if we look at the weeklies, we're just stuck here in this range, and we're really against all these minor trend lines that we have that are crossing. And it's quite sloppy, so very indecisive trading. More than likely what will happen is as we look at the longer term here, we'll probably have a strict fall off, very quick fall off, probably to the upper 80s. And then it's very possible that the Bank of Japan could intervene there and pull it right back up, and we could base out here in this mid-90s area, maybe for a month or two, maybe even several months, and then work our way back up. But this was a lot of damage done, so we may end up having to sit down in this area for a very long time, and the Bank of Japan may find itself having to support it more than it needs, more than it wants to. So that is it for the longer term on the euro-yen. Overall, currencies have been fairly quiet this week, so more than likely when that happens, we end up having an explosive week the next week. So it looks like the first couple of days next week should be a little bit opposite of how we've closed this week, and then probably a trend direction Wednesday or Thursday, and a fairly decent move towards the end of the week. At least that's what it looks like for right now. So we'll see what happens. But enjoy your week, good trading, and certainly stop by FX Addicts if you haven't already. Thank you.